Well, hello guys, Von Fry here, YouTube's #1 film commentator, the scourge of all film criticism on YouTube. And today we are watching from 1997, director Paul Verhoeven's Starship Troopers, starring Casper Van Dien, Denise Richards, Dina Meyer, and, well, you also had a Golden Girl, but I was going to say Michael Ironside. But first, let's get into some announcements. I'm going to be looking at doing some sort of interview type stuff, little interview podcast type thing on the channel. I do have somebody lined up as a guest because I figured out how to use Zoom meetings. And that should be kind of exciting. I also am getting some new gear, upgrading my microphone a bit for when I go outside. You guys may complain about that less. Also, when I eat, I use Knork silverware. That's KNORK.net. Some friends of mine, local company, they don't pay me nothing. They just have a sweet deal for my viewers/listeners. If you want 45% off on their fancy knife fork combo utensil, go to Knork.net and use the promo code FRY45 at checkout. Any other little announcements? I can't think of any, so let's go ahead and dive in. If you'd like to cue this up with your listening, rather listen to this while playing and viewing Starship Troopers on Netflix, go to 0000 and hit play now. Rated R, graphic violence, sci-fi gore, something that, and nudity. Man, this is a movie that is conflicting for me. It's a love-hate relationship. There are people who can make the case for this being the greatest movie ever made. It has a peculiar but prominent propaganda angle. There's a lot to explore in this. Federal network, like, look at this. It's a police state type thing. You have to be in the military to be a citizen to vote. I don't really disagree with that. There's the preacher from The Walking Dead. I don't entirely disagree with that. Okay, that's a cool concept. There's an interesting vision of the future here, but it's like these people are in a totalitarian government and they don't realize it. They're in this warmongering machine. They need some kind of purpose. And I don't really vibe with the commercial aspect of this. Like, you're watching ads during the movie. It just seems cheesy, corny, and forced to me. Paul Verhoeven did this with RoboCop and had some success because it's like, okay, we can have a gory, gritty action film. We'll have that spectacle, but we'll put this stuff in there and it gives you some other angle about it. It gives you this sense of, hey, there's more to this. This isn't like everything else. He geared that back a great deal with Total Recall, though you still have one commercial you kind of watch in there. This, I think it goes a little too far to the point that it gets preachy. I have to question whether or not it is cool actually how what is real, what the reality behind the invasion, all this, it's never really explored. You don't ever find out the truth. Oh, it was all a lie. The government put us up. You don't know who the hell the president is. You don't have any of that stuff. The puppet master is always off screen. But maybe a lot of people didn't see that aspect the first time viewing it. I think when I saw this when I was in middle school, it didn't really dawn on me. And yeah, this was one of those awkward watches on VHS. Your dad goes down to Blockbuster, picks up Starship Troopers. Hey, it'll be kind of like Aliens. Then they get all naked. And it's like, oh, geez. 1 year earlier. So we got the kids with their sort of tablet computer type aspect going here in the high school. Nobody looks like they have any business being in high school, let alone college. Casper Van Dien does not look younger than 30. Hell, Dina Meyer, Doogie Howser over there looks old too. She looks like a teacher at high school. Michael Ironside, he gives it all every chance he's got. You always want that Sam Fisher voice, don't you? Denise Richards, at the height of her powers, really never dug her. This is, along with Wild Things, her breakout moment. It's what Charlie Sheen really took some notice. I want to cheat off you. See what you're drawing over there. You got time to be drawn in class. There is a lot to unpack with this movie. I don't really have the receipts, but we'll take a look at Michael Ironside here. There's a purpose behind him being an amputee. You see that many of the adults in these people's lives, the young people's lives, they've had the tough time. They had their war. And they may have walked away victorious, but they walked away scarred. I think Rue McClanahan, am I saying that wrong? I think she's in a similar situation. Did she have an eye patch or was it a wheelchair? You're going to see things like that in this film. It helps to kind of build up this concept that the war has been fabricated and that they're putting the young people through it. Oh, well, they're going to have their Vietnam now. I don't really believe that it's fabricated, though. It seems like a 9/11 situation. It was advantageous. The government didn't take down the buildings, but we're going to use that situation to make the war machine go. So maybe the bugs blasted... actually were able to wipe out whatever settlement, whatever... and aren't they in like Brazil or something? They're not in America. It's very weird. It's like America has taken over the globe to such an extent that if you have a whole unified society, you got to find an enemy somewhere, right? Find them among the stars, I guess. Oh yeah, let's just check in. We're not going to use smartphones or nothing. We got a big blurry screen. Your turn. Denise Richards' face bothers me. Her nose, the eyes, just the whole package. And I say this as I do have a poster featuring her prominently from The World Is Not Enough, James Bond film, which she was awful, but... yeah, let's suit up. Probably the biggest name going in this is Doogie Howser at the time here, and his name. Why could I not remember his name when I'm trying to say who all's in this movie? I mean, should I throw out Casper Van Dien and Dina Meyer, and now his name just fails me, even though he's obviously the only one here really getting work now. Look, your whole life is planned out in high school in this movie. Oh, you do this, now you made this. They have plans for you. The real world can feel like that at times, where you have the direction is being put upon you. Jake Busey, Neil Patrick Harris. Okay, there we go. I do know the guy that did some of the work here, saying that there are things that CGI doesn't really replace in the bug guts here. Look at the chemical burns over on Golden Gal. The bug guts they would try to do this with CGI now and it would come out looking worse. Look how authentic that looks. There's a lot of good practical effects in this, and the CGI effects are really not that bad. You say, well, they were good at their time. Well, you could say that the effects were pioneering at their time, and they could be good in their day. Effects don't not hold up well. They were either good when they first came out, or they weren't. It's not like somebody patched up the movie over time. Made it better. George Lucas, but exceptions. Ugh. Why are the bugs part of these people's lives already? It's an odd thing, because you could look at this and say that the humans are the bad guys, that we're the invading force. You have to, and it's weird that it's only in the sequels did they really further get into this concept that the Federation, the whatever, was it Federation, that they are controlling and manipulating these people. That you see a little bit of it here. There's the hints. They lay the groundwork. I don't understand why they couldn't have made more films in this. Wasn't it kind of successful? I mean, it's an odd film that because it has a corny look about it, and then you go and have group showers. So I think this movie had a really tough time finding its audience, and I don't think that having purposely bad acting helps the case. If you're gonna go out and make some grandiose thing, try to do good about it. The film's overly evenly lit at times. It looks like a TV episode, like right here. Does this look like movie lighting to you? And we see that we have psychic abilities here in Doogie Howser, Neil Patrick Harris. Casper Van Dien here, Johnny Rico, right? He just doesn't quite have everything figured out the way everybody else does. Everybody else is on their path. He doesn't really quite know what to do. The strange thing I find as our evolving state of NFL and NCAA football attire goes, it keeps looking closer to what you see in Starship Troopers and other futuristic versions of football. Still a little ways off, but the helmet is not what the helmet used to be. The helmet has changed slightly to something closer to this kind of modified hockey look. A different shape about it. Oh, come on, your helmet came off. We could use a better design than that. It's my last night as a civilian. The Fleet Academy, she wants to be a pilot. I don't think that the movie needed to get into Denise Richards' theatrics, like her having to go up in space and pilot. We could have just stuck with Johnny Rico, just stuck with the colonial marine aspect and left the TIE fighting stuff elsewhere. Because we never really have a satisfying battle in the stars. So yeah, and it's not like she's a great actress or anything or a great character. It's also very odd how she's the girlfriend of Johnny Rico, and he gets steered toward Dez, and I don't think people were really expecting him to settle for Dez in that way. Yeah, you got like the butch gal, right? Hell of a setup for high school, isn't it? A few years ago, they made another animated film. They took these. They didn't go into theaters with them. They made some live action. They made some animated. There was a CGI cartoon with the realistic Final Fantasy Spirits Within style realism CGI. Uncanny Valley. It would play sometime before I was going to school in high school. I remember seeing that about. And they've made some CGI movies. Some of them really doubling down on the nakedness. The latest one, not. What was it called? Like The Return of Rico or something. I don't know. It has Dez in it. She looks nothing like Dina Meyer here. But she just appears as kind of like a fantasy element. It would have been better to just ditch Denise Richards' character and focused on the politics side and try to have an understanding if there was a puppet master behind. Oh, hey, the whole invasion's a fraud, like something like that. See the galaxy for a couple of years. See the world, see the galaxy, right? Oh, it's that teacher. He's been talking to you. Silly name. Is the message behind this movie to deter kids from getting into the military? To be like, hey, they're just manipulating you. You're the pawn out there. I'm not making an accusation. I'm saying there seems to be a possibility of a goal like that. And we never understand any of the stuff they're talking about. What is our spacefaring capabilities in this movie, you know? The fashion it for the high schoolers, so much of this they didn't really try to get futuristic. You see these people going to the dance and it looks like a 90s dance. Oh no, she's with him. When you saw this movie, who were you rooting for Rico to ultimately get with, huh? Surely Denise Richards was being played up as the hot girl. Oh, she won him bad. Yeah, it just really rubs me the wrong way how we have a very soap opera aesthetic at times. We have the soap opera acting, and that seems to accentuate this jokey point about the movie that the kids are being lied to. It's a fraud, sham, military industrial complex. I would have preferred that to go a more serious route. I do remember that the TV spot for this featured in heavy rotation Blur's song too. Woohoo! Doon 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 doon. Woohoo! Yeah, I listen to that all the time when I work out. See what it takes to be a citizen. I know there's some. This is based on a book I haven't read, so maybe that shined more light on clarification, given the reality of the circumstance here. As a self-contained movie, there's so much open in the sense of open to interpretation. It's in a somewhat satisfying way. You make a movie like that, and if you go about it the right way, you don't go too heavy-handed. I think this kind of goes overboard with it, though. But a lot of people come back; they return to it. It becomes like a cult classic. Oh, you got to watch it again, but this time watch for this. Take note of all the adults with the amputations and the burns. First look at one of these proper officer type uniforms here from the fleet, right? They got into this more in the sequels, how fascist things were with the attire. Like, oh hey, why are our good guys dressed a little bit like SS soldiers? It kind of tells you maybe they're not the good guys. Oh come on, you don't think Neil Patrick Harris is the perfect guy for you, huh, Dina? Uh, yeah, don't we have like a big cataclysmic event here as these kids are graduating tonight? And that it's very weird to think about this. This is 4 years prior to September 11, 2001, but it's that style of event, and I'm sure that the point of reference they were going for was more of, hey, it's our Pearl Harbor. Well, my generation got their Pearl Harbor in the form of 9/11, which, by the way, I like to think of 9/11 as a car. Oh, yeah, we're the needs of the Federation. We have a Pledge of Allegiance. It's not a scene that I think you would find in a pro-military film, a film more friendly to the military. Look at this guy's got. Uh, why do big words have to elude me during one of these commentaries? Prosthetic hand, cyborg. This is one of the grayest movies you'll ever see. There's something like so evenly gray about it. There's gray all over the place. The future is very industrial with that sheen of metal and concrete look. Yep. Infantry. Oh, yeah. Made me the man I am today. Oh, yeah, I don't really want to lose my arm, hand. Okay. Or my legs. There we go. I knew there was a leg situation. I also found it very weird what happens with Rico on his like first sortie. He goes out there, seemingly gets killed, and then regenerated. And it's like, okay, so we can bring anybody back? Everybody gets their limbs back? How come some people don't? Like, it was very confusing for me. Friends forever. Da, 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 da. Oh, you're gonna quit. A kid resisting vacation to become a citizen. Oh, he's cut off now. It is kind of strange that he's signing up, going through all this before the big event. We're going to war, right? I think it would have been better if he's looking for direction. That then happens, and then that sends him on his path. Then maybe at some point he stands up for himself, realizes it's a ruse. Yeah, but they don't pay me to make movies now, do they? Got kicked out of the house. Oh, come on. Telling the girl that your rich parents have kicked you out is not the way to win over the girl. Girls are into guys with parents who have money. I know this. All right, say goodbye. Oh, who do you think's going to be joining him in the infantry, huh? Yeah, it's weird they had like the Triforce of Friendship over there. Denise Richards, Casper Van Dien, Neil Patrick Harris. Didn't have Dina Maya there. She's not really in their circle. She's kind of a foil there for Denise Richards. Oh, this ain't much of a scene here, guys. He's got that kind of chin scar thing, a little bit of that Harrison Ford action. Yeah, that wouldn't throw you back. As fast as that tram's going, Federal Network. This is what happens if the government controls the news, guys. Look, you're being fed all the propaganda here. Should we really be letting kids handle these weapons? Oh, you got to get them ready early, right? This is making a statement against like the National Rifle Association. Murder captured, guilty. Execution live. There's all these links. You want to know more? The internet was getting to be a thing here with the links. There's Lassie from Psych doing a psychic thing. Would you like to know more? So the TV is so interactive for them here. I recently watched this movie, Stay Tuned, and it kind of played a similar angle, though it was explicitly about television, so it would have the jokey ad stuff going. A racket quarantine zone. Look at this. Now, look. Realistically, do you think that the federal government killed off all these people and then blamed it on the bugs? No, but they took advantage of the situation afforded them and kept the military industrial complex going. Is that necessarily evil? I wouldn't say so. Now, if it was all a lie, that's a different story. Oh, is that the guy from Space Force? But he's harder to recognize here as he's no, he'd have been in way better shape right here. Maybe it is. Truman Show's best friend. I can't tell. I guess we could see. I could look it up on IMDb, but you can too. It's not like I have special access. Washout Lane. Ooh, very drill instructor here. Now, why couldn't they give him the typical drill instructor hat, which I never understood why they need that hat. Is there a purpose to it beyond other things? It's always like you have the drill instructor. You don't see them out in combat, anybody else with that hat, right? Breaking the bone. We have really good medical uh, here at the infantry. I mean, we can snap bones out of this, break the skin, compound fracture, give the medics something to do, right? Oh, jeez, why is she here? It's gotta be Rico's thing. She's here to put the moves on me. I'm in demand. Familiar face, yeah. I'm here for the group shower. Specifically requested this one because of Rico, that's it. Oh, yeah? You gotta fight now to prove yourself. Oh, wait a second. Was that a stunt double there on Dina Meyer? It's hard to tell. Looks like she's doing a lot of this. Some of it, at least. Oh, we had to go kneeling down on somebody's neck. Oh boy. Hell, saying kneeling on someone's neck is probably getting me in trouble with the YouTube. See, he's got the guy who got his compound fracture. He's got some futuristic blue gel swimming about his arm. Jake Busey here. I believe he plays the son. I haven't seen the latest Predators thing, but he plays like the son of his dad's character from Predator 2, which could be the first time that's ever been done, where the son then plays the son of the character from a previous movie. Yeah. Yeah, he wants to sit together. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You are my malfunction. You had to tag along. Yes, I think you did join because of me. Oh, I can't remember the fate of Jake Busey here. Oh, we got our training, we got our obstacle course. Hey, why didn't they just take the zip line? You gonna cheat like that? Are are the knives going to do a lot of good against the exoskeletons of giant arachnids? Yeah, there you go. They also they're very willy nilly with nuclear weapons in this. Just anybody can authorize a nuke RPG. If I remember right, this is gonna hurt. Oh, you had to have a lot of fun with the practical effects team in this movie. There's just so much to do. Yeah, well, the enemy is bugs, and they're not pushing buttons in the first place. And here we are, guys. They they do a serviceable job of avoiding the lower body area on people here, but you get a lot of vision of the front top on the gals. And we have these like conversations like, "Oh, I'm going to have a serious conversation with my boobs out." Yep, that's what we're going to do here. Oh, I'll tell you, you saw a whole lot more of this on VHS too back in the day. That sort of open matte full frame type view instead of this widescreen. This was very much a thing for Paul Verhoeven. He had this vision of the future with the sexes coming together like this. You saw the shared locker room in RoboCop for a couple seconds, putting boobs in that movie, and it's like, what? Just all of a sudden, like, really? We needed to get in there? Yeah, of course she comes in here and wants to shower. Everybody get a butt slap. There you go. If you liked Aliens, I say game, this movie may be more endearing to you because it's like getting a bigger look, expanded look at the Colonial Marines. The Colonial Marines kind of being puppeted by Wayland Utani, right? Well, remove Wayland Utani, insert government. You have some similar things going. Ah, yes, letters from home. And you have situations like this in the military now. Everybody's trying to do their little Zoom meeting, Skype chat, secured line, uh, camming with the wife. Everybody interrupts. This is a bit groan inducing. This having to deal with Denise Richards shit. I remember so little of this. There's Amy Smart on her left. Uh, Probably her first movie, if not very close. We have these very young, undertrained people with big time responsibility in this movie, and I think that kind of shows you something like World War II. We were making men of high school kids, right? Now everybody is like 30 and still a child, present company included. Oh, we have the fanciful whirling around music, but this is like the peak of the space action here. We have a bit of a battle in space, but it's not like as exciting as this. And yeah, it looks pretty good because you're using miniatures. You try to do all this with CGI in '97, it's going to be tougher. It's going to be tougher to look right. It looks pretty darn good now here. I get to fly that. Man, I would say Amy Smart at the height of her powers. How long has it been since I've seen this? Because I don't remember jack about the ship stuff. I know she kind of gets bossed around by basically a Janeway stand-in here. Who is that actress? I recognize her. Oh, what do you know? Small world, small galaxy. Look who I get to be with. The football player who's kind of chatting it up with me. Obviously must be at a rival school, yet comes to my school's dance at the end. That's so weird. Maybe it's fate. Oh, I'm glad his haircut did not catch on. Ibanez. Is that her last name? Really? She don't look all that Ibanez-y. Oh, is that kind of a smartwatch over there? One's always got to assume that when you have incredibly expensive equipment such as the spaceship, it's going to be a. Oh, come on, hit the cable already. You could have done that sooner. See, all this stuff would be computer. You wouldn't go with a manual docking. There wouldn't be any of that. It's like, why risk it, right? Why have that human error? Oh, 5 meters from object. Come on, did this hotshot plan all this out, huh? She knows the perfect measurements for this. Oh, and we missed it. That's the beauty of miniatures in '97, guys. Pretty strong time for special effects, really. CGI that was really well manicured, that had a lot of labor intensity, a lot of focus, a lot of attention to detail, could look very good and hold up. There's a lot of CGI in The Lost World that looks great still. And it's not that it didn't look good then, it just still looks as good as what we have because we just don't really put the attention in now. Alright, so here's how we travel the stars. Well, essentially warp drive type stuff, right? Yeah, we had a bit of a wanky video effect on that, kind of bending them. It's laser tag with force feedback. It's red versus blue, guys. Mike could do you some better to be practicing against bugs. I guess they're not really at war with the bugs yet. There's certainly tensions, but that should be who they're training against still. I mean, they had, okay, you have the settlement thing, right? But then you're going to have like a big incident, like a city wipeout. Use some of them football moves. Was it football? It's some kind of sport. Oh, the effect of their shorting out on their little laser indicator could look a little better. It's a little muddy. Wave that flag. Yeah. Oh, do you get a medal for that? Mm-hmm. Hell, even the pool table's gray. Everything in there is gray. There's 50 shades of gray in that room. Diz? I've been calling her Dez. Could have sworn people were pronouncing it Dez. You get your mail on a little card, a big SD card, I guess. Oh no, it flips out and it's a disc. Haven't written you sooner. Yeah, this video chat It's not really a chat. It's a one-way communication thing. But sending a video. Gosh, she is awful. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? I like to think of her as the network executive on Seinfeld who George, the guy had the young daughter. George is staring at her cleavage. Get a good look, Costanza. It says like she's 16. It's like, how can I not look? Come on, they were right there. I have to follow my heart. I'm sorry, we're breaking up. That's the way we're doing it. We're just too far away. We'll always be friends. Basically giving the go codes to go hit Dina Meyer over there because she's available. Well, everybody had to see that. How do you describe Jake Busey's haircut? Joined up for her. Wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for her. Well, then why'd you choose infantry? Still got me to kick around. That sounds a little expendable. Man, this is a pretty sweet course they got here, really. Had to build a real set for this stuff, guys. Back in the old days, you had to build stuff for movies. They're firing live ammo. Man, just the shooting up, the smoke. Is it like illegal to have any smoke in a movie now? All smoke being CGI takes me out of movies. Oh, shit. She did not exercise extreme caution. Medic. Yeah, they may not be able to fix that. Someone got killed on your watch? Yeah, it's your fault. M3, what tactical helmet? This guy right here is, he was in Total Recall, another Paul Verhoeven movie. You know him from Breaking Bad. I like to think of him as a SWAT team leader in Terminator 2. It's Walk of Shame. Or Washout Lane, was that what it is? Administrative punishment. We'll try this kind of punishment. Really? Is this necessary? He didn't fire the shot. You're going to just let her walk away? She killed the guy. She walks away. This guy, he wants to still be a leader, so he has to go do the Singapore public lashing type thing, right? Yeah. It helps. I know. I wonder if you can find a movie prop. Rico's bite from the lashing scene. Everybody has to watch? Really? Why don't you get this on TV too? Oh yeah, this is big time. I mean, these might be worse scars from this whip than what they do in Singapore. Back to the starship that we don't want to be on. Their cockpit area is arranged more like in the movie Alien than Star Trek. Uh, was this is this a Fox movie? I mean, if it quite possibly used some of that set for this. More efficient way to go in a straight line, right? What are they drinking? We got our mug. New course is optimal, huh? I think I'm going to have to open up IMDb and find out who all's in this movie. We're not interested in your romance. Nothing much really comes of between her and Rico in this film. For, I mean, there's a little bit of reuniting, but so what? All right, who is the captain of the ship? Brenda Strong. She was also on Seinfeld. Walked around in the bra that really intimidated uh, Julie Louis Dreyfus. Oh no, we avoided an asteroid. It's miniature showing there, yeah, a little. Composite in some, uh, a little bit of flame effects and Clancy Brown. No, that isn't Truman Show's friend. It was the mean guard from Shawshank Redemption. Also the Kurgan from Highlander. Oh, you're not going to blame them for the near disaster. You're going to reward them. Oh, if she was in the infantry, she'd be getting lashes. Is that what that whole scene's about, to show you the difference? Shoot, if you're leaving the infantry, do that before you get the lashes, man. Like the gal. I mean, it's just luck that he got shot where the helmet was. It could have been in the face. You didn't get him killed. Don't blame yourself. Oh, we got a live call here. Split screen. The technology that would wow you in 97. Ha, I knew it. It's not working out for you. What's that? Looks like rain. Sure is dark. Atmospheric interference. Yeah, his town gets struck. Now look, super diabolical scheme here. The Federation knows that Johnny Rico's leaving. They have to try to get him to stay, so they wipe out his hometown to keep him. He has nowhere to go. Now he has to join the fight. That would be a huge pull for one purpose. To control one low-level, barely graduated high school type guy. That is a huge ask. This is tremendously a plot convenience right here, guys. Was he 30 feet away from Washout Lane over here? And this happens? How convenient. We're going to war. Yeah, that was in the ads. Woohoo! Boom, doom, 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 doom. The meteor. So they aim the plasma at the meteor to purposely aim it at Earth, or is it an accident? Huh? Oh, Johnny, that's us. Buenos Aires. So many white people in Buenos Aires. Well, yeah, if the idea is that they could launch more meteors at people, you got to do something. Or did the Federation do this just to keep Johnny in? Yeah? Yes, sir, I get you. You already signed. My whole family, Buenos Aires. Uh-oh, what are we gonna do? Doesn't look like it to me. Oh, shredded. War. Ooh, look at that dog. These like pan shots where it's so scripted for if it was documentary footage you wouldn't whip up to the guy who then gives his line, you know? There's something disingenuous about the nature of this. You can see the propaganda here. There we get a look at the Sky Marshal. He's not a real character in the movie. I guess you could say kind of like the Emperor in Star Wars, like really out of the way in the first one, huh? I am sick of wanting to know more. Oh, now we got the kids have to do their part, right? Again, they did not really go for it with the futuristic uh, anything here. Like the art direction kind of phoned it in. Like there was the focus was on the military. Okay, you have a cool outfit for the infantry, all right, but the kids are dressed like '90s kids. Is there anybody else from Total Recall in this? We get some. Yeah, okay. We got our skinny mic on our news guy, but it's not really the news, it's the government news, right? I think before they go out, don't they get some tattoos? Yeah, we ought to get tattoos, right? Mm-hmm. They get the tattoos done with laser. Does that mean you can use the laser to take it off? I'm not getting any tattoos until they're animated, guys. When we can get animated tattoos, that's where it's at. Oh, we cross paths. Carmen, that's the rivalry greeting, not real warm. BA. It just seems kind of weird that they'd be crossing paths at all, different branches of the service. Xander? You never want to have a Xander. We need a real sleazy name for this guy who's kind of butting in on Rico's gal. I got it, Xander. And we're not going to do it with the X like Xander Berkeley. We're going to do it with Z. Let's disregard rank. Ooh. And Sucker Punch. Not a good look for Rico to be taking these elbows. Oh no, they're breaking up before Rico can really get more in. He's not worth it. Let's go get our tattoos. Death from above, even though they're on the ground. Because they're the ground troops. Death from above would be the type of thing that one would have if you were in the Air Force. You're dropping the bombs. When we put our tattoos together, it gives us more bro powers. Okay, I mean, I guess if we're gonna have it to the extent that the fleet's flying the ships, okay, they got to get into drop down. Okay, maybe they can mix that way, I suppose. They really had to push that. They had some effect there for the door, and that ended up making everything very dark on the composite. You could see now we're back to our very flat daytime show style for inside the rest of that dropship. I prefer it more dim lit. There's just such an abundance of light in the future, I guess, in Starship Troopers. I mean, look, you have these red lights just barely touching the set, like you'd get so much more out of that. It would look so much more cinematic if you could just dim the whites a little. Oh no, there's the plasma. See, they're not making that up. But now they're an invading force. Maybe it's understandable the bugs would be shooting this at them. And could the bugs understand that there's a space situation? Do they have telescopic eyes? It's kind of hard to swallow. A preacher from Walking Dead's enjoying it. Oh no, they're taking out some of the ships. These are not huge ships, by the way. These are not Star Destroyers. It's kind of a frigate thing. It's not the Enterprise. It's no roaming city. Ooh, they didn't quite make it even dropping in, just kind of burned up. That's a fancy shot in 97 there. Maintaining that shot for them to land and exit. These guys spent no time getting out of those chairs, did they? As soon as they touch ground, they're at the door. I don't really dig the helmet. It's got its place. It's not as cool as the Colonial Marines helmet. Their gun's not as cool. Their armor's not as good. It seems very similar in a way. There's something oddly like pyramid shaped about their helmet to me. I realize it's round, but this is way how it has steps. Do these bugs reload? Because whatever they're doing looks kind of filthy. Looks like they had to blow up their bodies to do it too. Oh yeah, we just fire nukes whenever we want. Yeah, we don't need a knife in a nuke fight after all. When you put helmets on the military characters, it gets very hard to discern who is who. It can be tough to identify who got killed or what. There used to be a special effects TV show on like Discovery that showed how they did effects in the movies, and they showed a lot of how they did this, and I think you can find bits and pieces here on YouTube. There's a lot of good practical efforts with this. You had to make a lot of these claws, mandibles, legs. And in CGI, it looks pretty nice still. It don't look bad. I always think it's easier to make something that doesn't actually exist in CGI because we don't have a real one to compare what real looks like. Oh, you're getting a little overzealous there, dude. Leg gone. Oh, we want to hold on to that leg, though, huh? Oh, look at the faces she's making. I think he's a goner. Whimpering, falls. Come on, you're trained up infantry. What are you doing? No one saw you fall. That's what you get. There's so many of them. They're so big. Yeah, sure, they can't shoot back, but kind of similar to aliens in a way, right? Overwhelming force. I wonder if giant arachnids shriek, as little ones don't. So is the shrieking just a side effect of being bigger? Now, see, look, they actually had to build something to pick that guy up in. The camera guy just he wants to get a shot. That's always the news. They don't mind seeing bad things go down as long as they get the credit for filming it. Well, I'm doing my part, right? Now, this part confused me a lot as a kid. Rico is attacked. Well, not yeah. Okay, here's Rico. He's gonna get his. Oh, you're standing around for camera, dude. What do you think's gonna happen? Do you ever have to reload these things? Got it in the leg. Oh, come! You're telling me Diz wouldn't have stuck by Rico? Come on. I like to keep this handy for close encounters. Yeah, we have a shotgun. Okay, so the thing goes over his head. It seems as though he's dead, right? Did they just stop attacking when they assumed he was dead and they knocked him out? You're telling me they knocked him out, really? Because it seems to me like he's brought back to life. Now, some of these dead mannequins here don't look the most authentic, but we have a new Sky Marshal. Would you like to know more? Man, we need take a shot every time you'd like to know more. Oh, we have our Talking Heads cable news show here. Yep. I guess Hardball was on at the time. That kind of could be what this is facsimile of. Oh, I get alert on my phone. Fox News. Jimmy Kimmel has heard in newly unreleased audio using the N word several times while impersonating a rapper in 1996, among other questionable impressions. I don't care. Like, if it's just a word, chill out. If you don't like it so much, how come black people get to use it then, huh? Oh, well, because we took ownership of it, right? Yeah, I don't care. Newly unearthed from 1996. Wow, we're gonna punish somebody for events in 20 plus years later. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. That's what a strong society does, is look for reasons to cancel somebody well in the past. All right, so we have evacuated several of the infantry. Let's see the casualty list, huh? Where the hell was Diz during all this? Killed in action, deceased. Well, if he's dead, you can hook up with me finally. Well, he doesn't seem that deceased to me. It looks like they're nursing him back to health. Kind of Skywalker style, let's get him suspended in some water. Robot's sewing him up. There he is, wake him up, Johnny. So why is it showing up on the chart that he's killed? You get sense like that, and it's think, hey, does this thing just bring back anybody? I still don't understand why it said he died. If he didn't die and is brought back, like some kind of clone or something. Like I had a tough time grasping what the hell was supposed to be going on here. Is there just some kind of incompetence, false reporting? How come the bugs didn't kill him? These are holes that shouldn't be in a good movie. Also, the music's really corny too. Like, yeah. Here, Lieutenant's a real nutshell or something. What do you say? Who's this going to be? Who's the leader here? Oh, I was wrong. That's the preacher from Walking Dead. Lieutenant is a real nutbuster. Punch. Saved my life, mine too. Saved everybody, huh? So he saved Rico also. How? We never saw Rico being rescued. It should have been assumed he died, really. And then they're going to report he died too. It doesn't make a ton of sense. Oh, but here, when I'm in the military, I get to use my android hand. That's what I do. Michael Ironside wants to lead you into combat. You're doing it. So yeah, we got at least two people from Paul Verhoeven's Total Recall in this. Clendathu. Glass is the planet. So you already bombed it from orbit, huh? And then you send in the infantry. Or is it already desert, It's going to be quite desert to begin with. I mean, I guess sure they think they took out most of them, but you can never really be certain what's underneath. Man, not bad explosions. Alright, we're just going to send these guys in. Yeah, you don't need any kind of masks on. No, this is totally breathable. Oh, look at the charred remains there. Not CGI, guys. You see, this is a dream for a practical effects crew. He's got a big O scope on his gun. Man, it takes so much ammunition to take one of these out. It's dead. Now you got green shit all over us. He fired anyways after the fact. Sort of thing that would happen where you're not painting the Force in the best of light. Oh, you're shooting the dead body, all this stuff, right? You're supposed to take in prisoners, but one could make the point that these aren't humans. You shouldn't have to treat the bugs as humans. That the analogy doesn't line up. We weren't actually under heavy attack. Maybe they are. Stow it, trooper. And yeah, it says telling someone to piss off, tell them to stow it. Oh yeah, they're going to collectively just come forth in a pile to get shot. Yeah, as you're dying, make your way towards the pile. Tanker. I never understood that's what he was saying. Yeah, this has a strong CGI about it. Oh no, my arm. And it melts away. Oh, that is... Ooh. Not PG-13 style right there, guys. Makes you wonder how all these people got amputated so much. Like, was a lot of it flame acid melting off arms, limbs? Whoa. Look at the way he's shooting in there. And then, like, the orange pus guts are just flying out. It looks so good because you actually had to do some of that. You had to break away the surface material and try to get to the gelatinous, like, pudding underneath. Yeah, throw in that grenade. And it's a hell of a grenade, ain't it? Yeah, I think we got him. Yeah. Where'd you learn how to do that, soldier? Oh, now I remember you, Rico. I'm sure he had to have known. Did he just get promotion on field? All right, the three remaining tattooed still together here. They lost one. And then we get a weird line here. Where it's like, "What I want you to work hard and play hard. I expect the best, and I give the best." Here's a football. Here it is. Yeah, we got kegs. Here's the beer. Here's the entertainment. A green violin that I think they'd end up using later in Star Trek, one of the movies. Not really a reason to not be building violins out of trees. What was the lieutenant like now? Tell me. He didn't look like he was smiling a lot. Ooh, pulling rank as a corporal. Not a big power play because there's only one rank below you. Ah, if you're not gonna dance with me, then I'll get the preacher. Never pass up a good thing. Oh my gosh, how creepy would it be to have a high school teacher telling you who to hook up with? I mean, it doesn't help that he has the false information out there telling Denise Richards that he died. You having a long day of shooting up bugs. I don't think you really have the energy to be going around, tossing around some football and dancing so much. Just go to bed. Oh, look at that. He's got like that's not a fluffed up pillow. It's kind of like the purple pillow, the purple mattress, where it's like a grid pattern. Hadn't really dawned on me before there. Here we go. Get these straps off. Yeah. Not the best rack. You got to do something kind of weird here to make it memorable. So she has the shirt remaining over her eyes in a way. You do little quirky things like that for your little love scene. Makes it more memorable, don't it? Oh, Spider-Man kissed the girl while hanging upside down. We need to make sure this movie makes $800 million. Yeah, things are about to get creepier. I wonder how many of these infantrymen get to have their own private quarters like this, huh? I love you, Johnny. I'm not going to say anything just yet. You might be dead tomorrow. Unzip. Who's that with you? Do you need to know? Make it 20 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, we can do it in 20 minutes. Come on, let's go. One of the lighter, fun little lines right there. Just a light little moment. And not a lot of that in this movie. Everything's so forced. I don't think that you can really get greatness out of so much forcedness in a film. There's rocks coming down. That can't be natural. Needs our attention. Are they purposely throwing rocks down the cliffside of those little mountains? Like, why else? If not to give away that the bugs are out there stalking them. We're heading to the outpost. How do you think the outpost is doing? So far, outposts have not been faring very well. Uh-oh, flying bugs have entered the fray. Sugar? You got last name Sugar here? What's he gonna do? Is he gonna shoot the bug? Huh? No, he's going for his own troop. That's how hard he goes. Last of the Mohicans. I expect you to do the same for me, as you will in 10 minutes. I just got upgraded from corporal one day. 2 days ago I was private. Now I'm sergeant. This is good. Eventually, Rico's got to be like Master Chief, the highest rank you can get as an enlisted, as a non-officer. And what do we got in here? Of course. Whiskey Outpost, not doing so hot. I think they've used a lot of the same dead bodies repeatedly in this movie. Now, if you're going to get in tight on some of these might be humans, like actual people posed. There are parts where they have somebody gets a limb chopped, and then they use an amputee stuntman for it. Police up these bodies. Does it mean clean up, remove? What does it mean? That armor is just so rubbery looking. I just don't care for that poncho style chest plate getting slung over. They came in from below. We got tattoos say death from above. We should have went with death from underneath. Let's lift this guy up and see if he survived. Drilled into his head. And what are you saying? They sucked his brain out, or maybe ate something, implanted a bug in him, and it popped out of his head? I mean, it's sort of drilled. You don't see it exploded out, so it looks more like a drilling. This guy was in Total Recall. He was Quaylen. Was it Quaylen or what? No, it was what did he call himself? Quado, right? He had the symbiotic alien type thing in his stomach. The gun into his mind made him do stuff. So then what? Then it pops out? Just like us, want to know what makes us tick. This general does not have it together. Slap. It's so cartoony. We're all gonna die. It's weird to think that this Paul Verhoeven, and thinking of his movies here, he's got Total Recall. Did he do Basic Instinct? He might had. Yeah. So he goes. It's either the sci-fi or the sexiness. So it's like we Total Recall, Basic Instinct. We got some hits. Showgirls, big flop, and Showgirls has a documentary coming out next month. Uh, you don't know me, because her name's not Naomi, it's Nomi, Nomi. You don't know me, and so because there's always a subculture looking to make bad movies enjoyable. It's so good, it's bad. No, it's so good, it's entertaining. And for a what RuPaul's Drag Race crowd, maybe Showgirls would be entertaining. And it plays a similar angle here where it's like, did we purposely get bad actors to take lead in our movie, to have huge parts in our film? Is like some kind of joke for ourselves, some kind of in joke among filmmakers? I don't really appreciate the disingenuous efforts. I think this movie could have done better with a better cast and avoided some of these distractions like Denise Richards. We got the flying bugs. This battle looks pretty good, and someone loses their head. And another. Man, the head pops off. It looks so good. You gotta watch out for those wings, guys. Crash. Oh, one of our guys died, but it's funny. You're about to be the leader of the Roughnecks here. Oh, look, they have climbed atop. World War Z, eat your heart out. Just stack them bodies 10 high. And make your way up. Man, it is astonishing how good most of the effects are in this movie still. Look at all the animation you'd have to do, all of these bugs, like... And it really wasn't that appreciated at the time. Yeah, some of these deceased I have seen previously in the movie. And that's not an in-movie thing. Like, the government's not moving around these bodies to make them look like they've been attacked. I don't think. Yeah, we need to unthaw that ginger lady and just put her out on this outpost so everybody thinks it was we can blame the bugs. Yeah. Oh no. Does anyone even know how to reload these guns? He says running low, but I never seen one reload. Here we go. As I say it, we toss a clip anyhow. Actually, it's a magazine. I know the difference. Oh, who just got it? I couldn't tell. These helmets do leave enough of the face exposed to make it easier to identify people. You want to not know who's dying in a movie? Go watch Black Hawk Down. Oh no! They're coming from below, just like we noticed earlier. Yeah, you're not going to shoot through that very well. Remember, he wants you to do the same for him. Oh, you're going to get infected being in the dirt like that. know what to do. They could save him. We have great robotics. I mean, hell, I don't know how they brought Rico back from the brink. You could have carried him out. It's not like the bugs was he was still in the bugs' clutches. Like honestly. Ooh, nice toss. Good thing it ate that. Just out of nowhere, this bug just gets right dizzy. Slash, slash, slash. Right in the boob. Yeah, that's gonna leave a mark. I again, just the confusion over that Rico scene earlier makes it tough to understand what's a kill shot. What can no one come back from? Now that's how you go down the ladder. We see a pretty good variety of bugs in this. Oh, a bit of a TV looking effect there as they depart. Oh, you don't want to shoot some plasma at that? Look at the lighting in here. It's ridiculous. It's guys, as good as the effects are at times in this movie for the vast majority of the film, a very effects heavy film. When there's not effects, the movie just kind of sucks. Like Christ, my new GoPro looks better than most of this movie. It's just so flat. Yeah, you don't watch Starship Troopers for the shadows. Huh? I thought he was dead. Have we hooked up yet? And she's out of the way. Assume command of the mission? Really? Man, Casper Van Dien. Not a lot of activity after this movie. I saw him on an episode of Monk where he was Monk's second. He was in a few episodes of Monk where he was Monk's second assistant, Trailer Howard's boyfriend, I think, for a time. That was the last I seen him. I do recall there was like some talk in Entertainment Tonight of him doing a Tarzan thing. Every once in a while, someone tries to bring back Tarzan, and everyone forgets about it. Oh, she gets a big funeral. Is that what happens if your body gets recovered? You get the big funeral. Otherwise, it's just eh. I mean, she was a private. A citizen and a civilian. Wouldn't it be great to have that kind of distinction? There we go. We've got that corrugated egg cart pillow being used again now as a funeral bed. It's no Spock's funeral, guys. Spock's funeral, maybe my favorite in all of movies. The gold standard for funerals. Was Alien the first movie to do the casket send off in space? It's a Viking funeral style, but you have to wonder if we ever get to the point where we have this sort of setup in space, or are we going to do the funerals that way? Oh man, we had a tough time with the composite on that shot. We had to push some values, got really grainy, digital. We're getting a look at this kind of SS secret police-esque unit from the psychological warfare team division. Yeah, we had to try some stuff out. Couldn't afford to launch an operation. Man, Neil Patrick Harris has not gotten his grown-up voice yet, has he? Planet P, huh? Oh, you can anoint leaders of the infantry? You're hardly out of high school, dude. There is quick promotions in this film, man. Rico, 2 days ago, private. Now he is what, lieutenant, and they're calling him an officer. I don't think you can actually go that way, but whatever. Look how young his crew is. Oh my god, what did he do? Get like 12-year-olds? Fresh out of the boot. We're the old men. We've been here for a week. I'm just going to give the speech that I got earlier. Reinforcement. We're going to have to change it to somebody else's roughneck should something happen to Rico. And I've watched the recent movie of this, and they do a sort of Mobile Suit Gundam type thing. Like they take it another direction where most of the roughnecks have a mech that they can pilot. Oh no. Evasive action looks a little slow to me. Just so happens to not hit this ship. All these other ships really super expendable. Number two, huh? You want to be called number two? No, you want to be number one. You want to be Riker. Finally, they take a shot. Everybody jump, jump. Crisscross gonna make you jump, jump. Group sucked out the hole. Xander. Yeah, some people are making it out. You see ships flying out. We knew so little of Brenda Strong's character, the goings on, the makeup of the ship, that it seems so inconsequential. Why could we? Could this have maybe been a bigger hit if we just cut this from the movie? Because 2 hours 9 minutes total, right, with credits. You can take out 12 minutes just dropping Denise Richards. But it is called Starship Troopers. There's just not a lot of star fighting in it, you know? They call it Star Wars, and I feel like when you take away the Star Warring and you go towards all force all the time, that's a bad look. What was it? The Last Jedi had no wait. There was no star fighting in A New Hope. There was like surface stuff, but there wasn't fighting among the stars. They took too much of that out. And I think that when you really look at it, the big draw for Star Wars early on was in the space fights. The spectacle of that, it wasn't necessarily the lightsaber and the force moving stuff. That was not the thing that was putting people in seats. Life Pod Bravo 623. I thought Xander died. Did I misremember this? Oh, we hit a body in space. But it's kind of funny when it happens, doesn't it? Yeah, I think they crash land, they have to be rescued, then Xander gets killed. Yeah, that's got to be the way it goes. The Roger Young is down, so who do we name that ship after? Because I do not get that name. Yeah, well, you lost a shitload of other ships, too. Ergo, shouldn't you be looking for all kinds of pods? Carmen. Where in the planet is Carmen Ibanez? And this poor guy, he goes through a lot to get offed, doesn't he? Dude, you're telling me you crashed through the mountain? Dude, that is the... Why couldn't you just make all your spaceships escape pods? This thing is... They're walking away from that impact. You've got to be shitting me. And this thing looks like it could fly again. And this guy's ready for a fight. He's good to go. We loaded up the knife. We're going to have to use that. I'm guessing she is not trained in the slightest for any of this. Man, those look so good. I've seen crappier stuff that the Avengers had to fight. Three clicks. I think a click is a mile, therefore a bit of a ways out. Look out. Oh, leg sweep. Ah. In the shoulder. Could you really have heard them the whole time there? Where did all the kids go? I don't see all the little kids. Hey, somebody rescued you somehow. You're going to lose both your gals in like 24 hours? Let's relish this moment. Obviously, to get these props to go, you build them up on one side, put them in another there. Although we captured them live, we got to do something about these. Let's see, were these the brain drillers? And they came by to observe and then bugged out. Bugged out, Vaughn. Good one. Must have something of a reliable tracking device on that wrist. Got a bad feeling. I'm going to go this way instead. You guys go ahead. Everybody head that way. Finally, I mean, look, this is a cave, and it's incredibly well lit for a cave. But at least we're finally seeing, like, some play with light here. See as the light bleeds over them, finally something interesting to look at. I don't know how I know, but I know. Yeah, okay, great example. Volunteers for the rescue. What else were the other guys going to do, anyhow? I mean, if anything, they're the bait to bring out the brain. So that's where you need to put the priority. Okay, so do you have the little red bugs underneath this thing wheeling it about? Is that what we're looking at? Yeah, they lifted it up. This thing is such a fat ass. Uh-oh, it's got the goo out there. You know what that's got to be. Melted condom. Oh, no. This guy was really not a bad guy. I mean, he did what was needed of him, right? So pretty horrendous send-off he gets, though. Are you downloading something? Like you're sucking up the brain, and then are you able to process? Oh, that's a pretty good effect there. Pretty good makeup. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I know. Amalgamated Design had done some stuff on this. The knife got some use. You killed my brain sucker. Is that going to regenerate? Do you get to grow another one? If only he could have kept the knife for himself. You know what this is? Sure you do. Gather under me, red bugs. Get ready to wheel me back. No concern for nuclear fallout at all. No. I can't remember if the preacher gets it or not. Does he make it out? You don't want to be Smolder roll frontline in it here, guys. Hell, does Jake Busey survive? I just can't recall. Oh no! Are we going to get him to safety or not? Oh, it's a sacrifice nuke. Hurry before we lose Jake Busey. You like that. Where does he get that line? You like that. Hudson. You want some more? Yeah, come on. These are Hudson's lines. How could you tell how much time you had left on that thing? It's just a series of blinking lights. And what about the brain bug? Surely it got away, right? Woohoo. Oh, you did capture the brain bug. So I guess the good thing he only took a couple of volunteers with him. Need everybody else to go after this, huh? Would you take out all the little red ones? That would have made this job easier. There's a weird sympathetic thing about this bug. How to kind of continue with the humans are the bad guys. You feel like the bug is going to be tortured in captivity and everything. Really, you're a colonel already? I mean, at most it's been a little over a year you've been in the team here, because it said a year earlier from the first invasion, little battle where Rico was rehabilitated. So how much time since then? That's the question. It's afraid. Yay, we can win this. If it's afraid, we can kill it. How did he tell him how to find? He gave him psychic powers temporarily on loan. I mean, this sets the stage for a sequel, doesn't it? Why couldn't I have gotten a sequel in theaters? Clancy Brown's getting credit for capturing the brain. How do you get demoted from sergeant to private? And now the guy you were training seemingly not long ago gives you the congrats. And we're loading up the it's giving you the anal probe type laugh gag there. Join up now. There's Amy Smart again. Captain. Yeah, I've never met an ace. I've never met Ace Frehley. Yep. They'll keep fighting. And they'll win. There you go. Directed by Paul Verhoeven. What do you guys think of Starship Troopers? I think this is quite a conflicting movie for me. Is it conflicting for you, or do you think it's the greatest of all time? Let me know in the comments below. Till next time, adios.